Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Tuesday morning edition of the Mop. And yeah, it's been an emotional last day, and will continue to be today. It really didn't settle in until 2 years ago that Mom was gone. She passed away 2 years ago yesterday. The roughest thing I have been through. As you can tell, I'm wearing her shirts today. I went and had a chili dog yesterday again, and the interesting part about my mom, that was one of her favorite things to eat ever. Besides Reuben sandwiches, chili dogs from A&W were her phenomenal go-to. She loved to have it. It was her comfort food, basically. And to tell you how Alzheimer's and dementia works, I asked her one day when she was in Hudson, I said, "Hey, if I bring you something, what would you like me to bring you? I could bring you a chili dog." She looked at me and said, "Chili dog?" And this was well before her time came. But chili dog, who the heck puts chili on dogs? That's stupid. So at the point, I knew things were still where they were then. They were getting worse. But yeah, they were having chili dogs then at Hudson when we first got her there. And I said, "Oh, Ma, you're going to be," "Yeah, who puts chili on hot dogs? That sounds dumb." So that's kind of where her mind was at the time. But yeah, so 2 years ago yesterday, 2 years ago today, I sat down and did a live video of just missing probably the glue to our family. And she definitely was. You can tell how our family is now. She was definitely the glue that it wasn't necessarily held us together, but she would flat out tell you how she felt and what she thought should go on and happen. And I miss those words of encouragement. She'd also tell me that I'm a big fella and I needed to lose a few pounds here and there. So she wasn't afraid to speak the truth, which I think is a lost art form these days. People don't like to speak the truth. They like to hem and haw, and heaven forbid they would actually talk to you. So that's where we're at. Thank you to Storm and Motive. I got bowling balls yesterday for the event for November 7th. I posted about those, so thank you to that. So, oh brother, where? And that's with a question mark. And this goes out to my brother. I don't know if he'll be watching today or not, but there's somebody in your life every now and then. We don't speak often. We text back and forth periodically. But my love for music came from my mom and dad who did that, but then also having an older brother that was in his high school, graduated in 78, took me to quite a few concerts, took me to a lot of sporting events. As an older brother, I looked up to him a lot, and I still do. Shouldn't say, I still do. I find his will, that what he did with quitting his drinking and everything else, is amazing. And when I say I quit drinking, I'm not fighting the demons that some others have. And I'm not fighting that to where I feel I needed to go to anywhere to talk about it and to do that. And I am truly blessed to know that he has been sober now for a long time. And it's been a while. And that was one of my mom's biggest wishes, was to see him quit drinking. And it didn't make her, it made her so proud of what he did. So today I'm looking at that. And like I said, we don't talk often through phone or anything. Text messages we send once in a while, but I can message him, or if I had to, talk to him, and he at least gives me some sound advice. The one thing I've not listened to him on is probably do a little political stuff on my videos, but that part is just me being me. And again, this is my podcast, or my video, not a podcast. Podcast is more interaction. This is just a video of what's on my mind. But I thank him every day in my, I don't personally call and thank him, but I thank every day that I have that relationship, where if I had to, I could call him and at least yell, rant, rave, and he'll listen, and give me some sound advice back. I've been going through a shitstorm, and there's no doubt about it. I'm on an emotional ride, the last probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And I could call him at any time. I can call my buddy Mark anytime as well. And know it won't go anywhere. And that's a huge item for me. I struggle with the fact that when I hear other stories, and we are quite a bit, he graduated in 78, I was born in 74, so that'll tell you our age gap. We got a little bit of an age gap. But there's sound advice there, and there's truthful advice there. So I think a lot of people don't like that fact. They want to be fluffed and buffed and BS to about their lives. I think that's what my other siblings struggle with, is they don't want to admit their own faults. And if you don't admit your own faults, it's easy to blame others. And I'm going through some of that currently, with people that don't want to admit their own faults or stand up for what is right. So, oh brother, where, with a question mark, comes from my music range, thanks to him, and everything else goes from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou to Five Finger Death Punch to, I think one of the best concerts up until I went to Paul McCartney, Page and Plant, was one of my best concerts I'd ever been to. It was an awesome concert, awesome experience. Jimmy Buffett was good. But he always had music. I mean, back when we had CDs and had to play CDs in your cars, it was boxes upon boxes of CDs. And I still remember a day that cracks my butt up. We were going to the Gator Nationals, and I introduced them all to Adam Sandler, and we were listening to his videos. We were listening to him on CD, and everybody's dying laughing as we're driving into the Gators Nationals, and people were thinking we were already drinking well into the day, and it was early morning, because Adam Sandler and I introduced them all to him, and it was a hilarious event. I've been to Daytona 500. I've been all over. Thank you to my brother. But like I said, this week is going to be a challenge for me, just because I lost my foundation. I lost the lady that was there for me through thick and thin, through no matter what transpired. My mom had my back, and my mom had my back probably to a fault. It was to where she was definitely overprotective of her baby boy. Let's put it that way. And my oldest brother, though, was the one she relied on that was rock solid for her all the time. And he would have been her guardian had he lived in the state. I ended up being that guardian and had to do things that my other siblings did not appreciate, nor did they respect, nor did they like. So I've become pretty accustomed to a lot of people not respecting me. And I'm seeing that with more family now. But I'm to a point right now that I'm done with it. I'm done worrying about it. I'm done trying to fix it. I'm done trying to be the person to be there for anybody. If it can't happen, if you're not liking the truth and you don't want the truth, you're probably not going to like what I have to say. So, with that said, Colin, thank you very much. Thank you for giving me the wide array of music. I have a playlist that I play when we're out in the Terex, and everybody wonders what the hell's going on. It goes from Eminem to Disturbed to, like I said, Five Finger Death Punch to Hank Williams to Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson. nothing better than listening to Disturbed going down the trail, and then all of a sudden Waylon comes on with I've always been crazy. So it's one of those things. And my mom was a gospel and quartet kind of lover from day one. She, had the In the Garden, all the Statler Brothers, Oak Ridge Boys was all my mom's tops of her list. So music to me gets me back to fond memories, but also to where I am comfortable. And it is proven that when you're going through tough times, or even with mom, she would get restless at the very end. Her last day, so yesterday would have been her 2 years ago. It was all Oak Ridge. She'd start getting wound up, and I would either put Oak Ridge Boys on or Statler Brothers, and she calmed out. It was the wildest thing to see. And when they started putting the morphine and everything to it at the end of her day there, she still got jumpy. But then if you played that music, it proved how good music is for the soul. So, Mom, I miss you so much. My brother Colin, thank you. I don't say that enough to people that are involved in my life and have made my life better. Truly appreciate it. So, thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm appreciative of anybody that finds this worthwhile to watch. But some people laugh at me about it and say, "Oh, the mop, yeah, the moose." Yeah, but I need to do it. It clears my head. It clears my mind. No matter how much I want to forget about it, there's damage there, and I can't do anything about it. I'm reminded every day with numbness, needles, and everything else in this hand. Blessed it moves, but it hurts like hell to use it some days. So, thank you to those that tune in. Do me a favor. We're coming up to the third event for Marcy Strikeout Alzheimer's, and I have got good things started. But the big thing coming up is September 2nd. At the bowling alley, we are doing the end of summer Alzheimer's celebration kind of thing. We were chosen out of the 4 cities, and we're looking forward to just live music, pizza buffet. We're going to do a 50-50 raffle, have people on board with knowledge to how to help if you're a caregiver kind of thing, all those things. So with that said, take time to bless somebody today. Bad accident on Highway 14 yesterday. I don't know if there was anybody hurt. Bad UTV wreck yesterday here in just south of where we're at here in southern Wisconsin in Grant County. People were ejected. Young kids were hurt. Wisconsin is now leading the deaths total as a state for ATV, UTV accidents. And a lot of it is no helmets, no seat belts. They're bypassing the seat belts. Things are going to change, or the state will change it for us. And right now we're blessed enough to be able to go down county roads and things like that. But I think people forget these are not made for blacktop. They're not made for blacktop roads. And you're seeing people going 60, 70 mile an hour on these things on black. They're not meant for that. And you can laugh all you want. You can do whatever you say. Oh, blah, blah, blah. The shit's not meant for it. They're utility vehicles meant for off-road, meant for work, not meant to go 70, not meant to go 80. And all they do is continue to get bigger and bigger. And we're going to see more problems. Our Terex is tapped out at 45 mile an hour. That is plenty fast enough to get hurt in. I'll tell you that. So, start, instead of laughing or making jokes, and people are laughing about all the bars and everything else, it's back to somewhat of the alcohol thing. That you got to use common sense. And we've all been there. If you've ever drank and you've been drinking or whatever, you make some pretty dumbass decisions when you're drinking. And accidents happen. But The UTV one sounds pretty bad yesterday, and it looked like there was 2 bad accidents yesterday with driving 2 in cars. So I don't know what transpired there. But take time to bless somebody today, because you're not promised tomorrow. So have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.